Right, so we're gonna be fitting this illegal mod to this BMW S1000RR. And when you see me install it, you understand why it's fully illegal. And many people already will know that by fitting this illegal modification that I'm about to do, many people won't be aware of this. But as I said, it does void your insurance. So do be aware of that before you try and copy what I'm about to do. There is gonna be a time and place to use it, and you ain't gonna be able to use it all the time. A lot of people will try to use it on the streets, but that's where disaster is gonna strike and where it's gonna happen. Trust me, do not try and use this modification on the street, what you're about to see me do. So if you can see here, this is the cluster for the S1000RR, and I'm just gonna turn it all on. And if you can see down here, we're missing this light. Now the reason we're missing that light is for very good reason. Now that's meant to light up along with another one up the top here. And I'm gonna be showing you how to make that happen. Now, the reason these lights ain't on at the moment is because, like I said, this mod BMW do not want you to have from the factory, therefore they do not enable it. So therefore, I'm gonna be showing you how to enable that on the BMW S1000RR. And when you see how to activate this, like I said, only I think a few people know how to do this. The majority of people would not have seen this purely because there's no video in regards to enabling this. And I'm gonna show you what this actually enables. And many of you guys will try and obviously follow suit, but it's completely up to you and you're doing this at your own risk. Do remember that. So the first thing we're gonna do to get access to all the wiring, harness and all the wiring, is we're gonna have to lift up the seat. Now, as many of you guys know, the seat cowl, if you remove that, you've got the diagnostics port underneath there. That's not what we want. This, we're gonna want the wiring harness, which is located underneath the seat. So we've got to take that up. We might have to take the fuel tank up as well. We're gonna do that to be able to get to where we wanna get to. Now, these are T25 bolts, so you're gonna have to just remove them one by one. You can see there, now the seat has successfully been removed with the two torque bolts in place. These are both T25s, so do remember that to remove the seat. So the first thing you'll see here is your battery. You'll see this module right here, which is the actual ECU control unit for all the ABS and obviously the DSC down here. Then you've got your wiring harness, which is running along here. You've also got this connected down the side here, okay, which many people know. This one doesn't need to be used. This is actually for, if you ever look at it, it's actually for the immobilizer chip. A lot of people won't be aware of that, but that's linked onto the immobilizer. So that one we do not use. Now, this plug right here, you guys will probably see, is just a blank plug. And it's obviously got a blank installed into it. Now what we're gonna be doing, I believe, we're gonna try and bypass this. And the reason we're gonna bypass this is to enable the mode we want. Now what you're gonna have to do here is take that blank out just like that. You'll see, because it is a plastic blank we've now took off. And what you're gonna need now is this. This is the red coding key. Now this red coding key, many people know, can be purchased in the EU. You cannot purchase it here in the UK purely because they don't want it being available in the UK. Many people will be already aware of what this is, but some people won't. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna slot this into place right there. And what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna tuck it back into the cable tie. And then once that's done, now I'm gonna show you what that's enabled. So if we just turn the ignition on, you'll see here, let it cycle through. We'll wait for it to load up. And then what you'll see here is if you look where the rain is, we've got sport, race, and slick mode. Now, as you guys saw, this wouldn't have been enabled without that chip, and that's purely because, as I said to you, BMW and companies do not want you having that enabled purely because that turns off all safety features on your S1000RR. But as you can see now, I've got every mode enabled. Now, if you do have an S1000R XR, that's gonna enable Dynamic Pro. So if you do have one of the older ones, you won't have slick mode because it's not the RR. You will then have Dynamic Pro and Dynamic down here, which will then enable Dynamic Pro, which turns it all off as well. So you can use the same coding chip and same install on your single R and your XRs to enable that. So now that's all done. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the seat back on. And then now we've got that mode now enabled on this BMW S1000RR, which, as I said, many people are not aware about purely because, and if you can see, it doesn't come with that mode. And even on the later S1000RRs from 2024, they only come with Race Pro 1 and 2 enabled. They do not come with the slick mode enabled at all anyway, but that can be coded in fully via the OBD system. But on all BMW S1000RRs, they do not enable slick mode as standard, not even on the HP4s. So everyone has to do this to be able to get that mode activated. And there you have it. That's now the seat back in place. That's our new mode activated on this S1000RR. And this job is done on this S1000RR. As I said, please do this at your own risk. Because as I said, if you do have an accident and you come off your bike, insurance find out you had the accident in that mode, I know for a fact they will not pay out, because I have had a friend who done the exact same thing and he's still waiting to go through the insurance at this present time because they're refusing to pay out because he was in that mode. So like I said, do it at your own risk.